And we're back, Helga. We're back, and I'm ready for some Protoss power.
I'm ready for some Protoss power as well. I'm just ready for exciting games. I hope that Dewalt can keep on his roll because I badly want to see a game 5 because I think that would just be by far the most intense matchup we could see in the round of 8 so far.
Indeed. And by the way, I just want to point out, before last game started, I was like, Dewalt just has to make DTs and he'll win.
Yeah.
And guess what happened?
Well, exactly. Completely called it. Yep. I mean, down to a detail. You narrowed it down to one single winning unit, and that's impressive.
Yeah, and you know what I think you should do this game? I think you should make DTs.
I think he probably should. And you know what? I think he probably will.
Oh, good times, good times. Well, the map is going to be New Sniper Ridge. Now, this map, I think as you said in the last matchup even, that is quite difficult for Protoss when he gets Lurker Contained. It's a very good map for that. You've got basically a high ground ridge outside of your natural, and if the Zerg can take control of that, then the Protoss is in a lot of trouble. Yeah,
I mean, so often that's the kind of thing we see coming out from Zergs. They're just really trying to establish that lurker contain as quickly as possible, and often we can see some slightly quirky builds coming out with an aim to doing that. And there are a few ways that Protoss can deal with it. I mean, they're by no means out of options, but they do always have to be aware of it and play a fairly specific game to make sure that just doesn't happen.
Yep. I hope we see reaver actually. That's exciting.
I hope so. That was the first possibility in my mind. I thought,
yeah, cool. I thought that was what you're thinking of as well. See, great Protoss minds think alike.
Well, exactly, and it's just stylish. It's just cool.
But the problem is, if you're making reavers, you're not making DTs. Actually, you could do a combo drop.
You can.
That's actually very effective because when you go to reaver, you can make like 2 DTs first, drop them in because you have the stairs anyway. Kill the overlords, do a bunch of damage, and then go in with the reaver. Oh, it's so good, so good.
Wonderful times. But we're hypothesizing, we're fantasizing way into the future here. I think we need to get into this game and see what happens because I'm incredibly excited for this.
I am as well, so here we go. And here we go. At the top right, as the purple Protoss, we have Dewalt. And at the bottom right, as the white Zerg, we have Sziky.
Yep, and here we are once again. Dewalt's going to have to fight for his life. Should he lose, he goes home. And should he win, it will go to a game 5. So I think we all know what to root for. Whether you're rooting for Sziky or not, you got to want a game 5. You got to want that to happen at some point in the round of 8 of the TLS, because that's just where the best stuff always happens.
Indeed it is, and man, that would... Actually, wait, no, we shouldn't spoil. Shouldn't spoil!
Oh, what? Oh,
yeah.
damn.
Alright, we gotta be careful again. I'm gonna
it's
watch
so
it.
hard. It's so hard not to spoil.
Anyway, let's see what happens here. It looks like the Overlord's going in the correct direction. Dewalt's going to pile on to the front. The fact that he built it right flush with the cliff means he's probably going to go Forge again above and then Gateway above that. Same wall that he did last time. And he is also... Oh, he's looking for the Overlord, but his timing is a little bit too early, though. I don't know if he's going to see it. Oh, I think he's going to see it. Oh, it's going to be close. Ooh. I think he saw it.
Yeah, yes, I think so as well.
Ooh, good.
I hope so.
Yeah, he definitely did. He's going that direction.
Yeah,
so cute little trick there, seeing if there's an Overlord there, and if not, he would have probably gone to the bottom left, or maybe top left, I'm not really sure. But now that he saw the Overlord there, he knows where his opponent is. And in fact, it looks like it's an overpool from Sziky. Okay, I thought it was an ipool, but no, it's actually an overpool, so not as crazy as last game.
Yeah, it's going to be... Is this the first time we haven't seen him? No, we saw him overpool in game 1, excuse me. Yeah, I was just a little bit confused about that at the time. But yeah, he seems to fairly well favour these early-ish pool builds for some reason, but it seems to be working out quite well for him so far. And Dewalt just trying to do a little bit of harass with that probe, but Sziky's going to be absolutely equal to that so far, at least. And throwing down the forward now at a fairly safe timing. And yeah, we'll see how this progresses, and Dewalt should be able to block that natural hatchery for a little bit, maybe even throw down a pylon just to make things inconvenient.
Yeah, but when the Zerg goes for an overpool, he's generally not as concerned about it as if he was doing something else. Like if he got his 12 hatch blocked, that'd be absolutely terrible. But having gone for the overpool, it basically means, well, actually, he's got the hatchery down. But essentially, if his hatchery was blocked, he'd make all 6 Zerglings at the same time, and then he could just make the hatchery later. But making a hatchery first after an overpool means he doesn't have enough money to make all 6 things initially anyway. So you can see the production's kind of staggered. And in fact, he only decided to make a single set of Zerglings. If I can click the right egg here, yeah. So the single set of Zerglings and 2 more drones. So not actually going to bother going for too crazy Zergling aggression. He's taking his gas already. That's
interesting.
Very early.
So, what do you reckon? We're going to be seeing some super fast lurkers, maybe?
I'm not really sure, and he actually showed it to the probe as well, so it's very curious. His drone's now going to the left side. I wonder if this might be some early Hydra aggression again, kind of like last game, but maybe, you know, even faster. And the thing is, I think that's actually a very good strategy on this map, because if you can get position outside the Protoss natural with the Hydras, then you can just follow up with quick lurkers as well, go straight for lurkers, and then set up the contain. And basically Protoss isn't able to get out of his base just from the very beginning of the game. It's just, he's never able to actually leave.
Yeah, that's such a horrible position to find yourself in. It's just so mentally draining as well when you're blocked in your base from such an early stage. And you just feel like the Zerg is steadily spiraling out of control. Okay, so... wow, okay. So it's at this point, it's got to be either quick Mutalists or quick Lurkers from Sziky. I mean, I can't imagine why else that early gas would happen.
Yeah, you know, to be fair, he did take his third base pretty quickly afterwards, and I don't know, maybe it was slightly earlier. He could still go for quick lurkers here. I mean, he could build his, after he kills his probe, he could immediately build his den and go straight for lurkers. I think that would also still be a pretty smart strategy on this map. But yeah, maybe it was just slightly earlier, but you know, not necessarily anything specific. I don't know. Sziky, it feels like Sziky should be like such a good player that he won't do anything that doesn't, you know, have a purpose though in the game. But the probe is still alive though, so it's hard for him to actually take a tech path until it dies.
Yeah, I mean, I think that probe's doing a really, really good job, because just scouting alone can really seriously delay your opponent's choice. But it looks like he's going to be chased off for now, so whether he'll choose to go back or not yet is anyone's guess. Hopefully that won't get taken out too quickly by these things. Wouldn't be surprised actually. Okay, there we go. Yes, he is sending out his Zealot. So this is going to mean that the Sziky can have to make up some extra lings, and in fact he does. That's not going to be too much of a risk, but it is going to allow a little bit more scouting information. It's going to go over to the left-hand side of the map, interestingly, so it might be able to grab itself a drone or two before Sziky manages to get over there, but I think Sziky's probably going to know where it's gone. As we can see, he's making sure he scouts around thoroughly for it, and yes, turns off and goes to the bottom left-hand corner instead. Very, very smart seeking path right there from him. And meanwhile, we have a Spire down as well. So we could be looking at something Mutalist orientated, although he doesn't have his natural gas.
Yeah, it's looking like maybe it's just for Scourge right now. And, oh wow, grabbing a drone kill there, a bit unexpected, and also getting a nice little position, so gonna get a couple of Zergling kills as well. Might even get a third here. Yes, looks like 3 Zerglings and a drone. Definitely worth it for that Zealot. But, you know, Sziky doesn't seem too phased. He's getting his 4th hatchery. I'm pretty sure at this point it's just for Scourge. As you said, no second gas, which would indicate the mutas. And from Dewalt, we're also seeing nothing too crazy. Oh, he's going to reaver. Yes! Yes! Look at that! 2 games in a row. Boom! Elegant. DTs last game, Ser Reaver this game. Ugh! Feeling good.
My faith is restored. I feel warm and happy.
Dude, I'm like a prophet, man.
Yeah. You are like a prophet. Well, this is what a prophet is. You kind of technically are a prophet now. Yes. You say something that's going to happen, and then it happens. You are a modern day prophet in some kind of weird roundabout way. So, oh, congratulations! And I'm your first follower. You need to start writing a book now. First Corsair now heading out. This is of course one of the manliest of all strategies.
Oh, he's going to get Scourge though.
No. That's less manly.
Oh man, this not losing any of the course is actually so crucial, far more important actually than in normal builds, because normally you just get like 1 or 2 courses for scouting, but when you're going for Ser Reaver, you kind of need Sairs. That is, you know, half of the build. So yeah,
it's pretty important.
Oh, and the Scourge are gonna see the Robo, or support bay rather. So
that's unfortunate.
Sziky knows it's coming.
Now, yeah, so the build is scattered.
So now the normal response from Zerg to Ser Reaver is to just expand a... Whoa! Nice. Anyway, the normal response from Zerg is just to expand a bit faster than they normally would, because basically when you go for Ser Reaver, you know, you're spending a lot of money on the high-tech units, the Sairs and the Reavers, so you don't really have a big ground army to use to like punish a greedy Zerg. So the Zerg's like, okay, you might be able to do a bit of damage with harass, but I'll just have so many hatcheries that it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, that can be a risk. I mean, it can be really, really difficult to deal with when Zerg just commits to I think Zerg has to commit quite heavily to deal with Sarah Reaver properly, because otherwise they can be a bit sitting on the fence. But if they go for mass Scourge, like really mass Scourge, then it can be a little bit difficult to deal with. Maybe mixing with a couple of Mucilis tank damage, that can be very, very, very nasty. And also if they just go try and pump out huge amounts of Hydras, then it can be a bit difficult
burrow.
to really
find any burrow. One cool trick is to just burrow a bunch of Hydras in your mineral line, and when the Reaver comes in, just unburrow and snipe it straight away. Oh, it's so cool. And by cool, I mean I really hope it doesn't happen to Dewalt.
I was just thinking, like, Sale, what's happened to you? Why are you talking like this? Don't worry me. We do have the air carapace upgrade going down, so it looks like Sziky's going to go for a more air-oriented approach, which is cool because, of course, when you're facing down against large numbers of Corsairs, the large numbers of Corsairs means that as the Scourge come in, they die, never gets into the Corsairs, never doing any damage. So the carapace upgrade means that they can have a chance at getting in right up close. Almost managing to catch the speed shuttle as it comes out, but not quite. The Scourge just falling slightly short there.
Yep, indeed. Sziky was very careful, actually. Really wanted to snipe that. That would have been huge, because obviously there's only one robo here, so, you know, sniping that shuttle means that this second Reaver, well, basically the initial Reaver harass would be significantly delayed waiting for a second shuttle. And meanwhile, we do actually have an Archives about to finish as well, so Dewalt could definitely go for the combo DT Reaver drop, like I was saying, which would be absolutely fantastic. I mean, he does need it anyway to follow up to transition back into a normal ground army after the harass. I mean, it doesn't really make sense to stay on Sarah Reaver for the whole game. You can't really do that, basically, unless you're ridiculously bold.
Unless you're Bisu. I think I've seen Bisu do it, but I don't know if I've seen anyone else do it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, S-class level player. Kind of like how Jadon can win a ZVT with only mutas. You know, you kind of have to be S-class to do that. But, do not fly over the Hydras. Do not do that.
Although this could lull Sziky into a little bit of a false sense of security because he thinks that the shuttle will not be coming from that angle, whereas it, in fact, will. There are lings spotting around. Will he be able to keep the shuttle hidden from those lings? It looks like, just managed to keep the shuttle out of sight range of the Overlord. I think, of course, if that blip appeared on the minimap, Sziky will have seen it. You can make absolutely no mistake about that. The shuttle looking like it's in a little bit of risk of getting caught by those Hydras there, but no. Surprised we still didn't see Overlord speed in yet. That's a little bit of a shock to me. But Dewalt going over to the bottom left-hand corner might be able to take out this hatchery before so you can get any Hydras over there to deal with it.
Yeah, that seems like a huge mistake, actually. I completely didn't even realize it. You're absolutely right. I don't know why there's no Overlord speed here. He got Carapace, but no speed. He's got, whoa, man, that's a ton of Scourge. Dewalt's going to be really, really careful now. And the Hydra's coming in as well. Oh, man, he's going to be careful. Why is the shuttle leaving? He's going to abandon the Reaver. Oh, man, it looks like he had it on the control group with the Corsairs and was not there to actually pick up the Reaver. So big micro mistake there from Dewalt. And the Hydras might kill the shuttle anyway.
Oh god, as a result he loses his Reaver, he loses 2 Zealots, he loses a bunch of Corsairs, and still he doesn't manage to kill the hatchery. So this was, frankly, a very, very bad trade for Dewalt, and he's going to have to make up some serious ground in order to get his harass effective again. And to put Sziky in some kind of tricky situation, because right now it's looking good for a Zerg player. And he's getting a significant number of Hydras out on the map as well by this point.
Yeah, I don't know what these two DTs are doing at the third. I thought at first they were just going to clear the Hydra so we could take it, but now they're just kind of standing there not doing anything. Oh man, this Reaver could actually get a monster shot on these Hydras if Sziky's not careful. Well, that wasn't a monster shot, but if that had actually been targeted to the middle, that would have been crazy. Anyway, looks like otherwise Dewalt is just going on as normal. Where did that shuttle actually go? Did it die? Yeah, he's actually making a second one. I guess it died. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't actually see how it died. Sziky, that looks like he's not really mining from the 4th base, so even though it didn't die, it's not really helping him too much at the moment. And
Sziky, no, Dewalt's shuttle goes over to the right-hand side and should have been scourged down. Really should have been. And then a weird move coming in, sacrificing a Corsair when he could have just moved the shuttle away. The shuttle's still empty. I don't know quite what he thinks is in it, but he's
making
wrong.
a second one as well. What the heck is going on here? What he's making? Is he gonna have like a fake shuttle? He's gonna go in with 2 shuttles, and the first one will get Scourge, and the second one goes in with the Reavers?
He's kind of hoping he can start lifting those DTs over. Maybe that's why the shuttle was empty, because there's 2 DTs waiting behind those minerals, which you can't really see on the minimap, but over at the right-hand side base. That's why he's moving an empty shuttle over, and he's going to try and lift those DTs into Sziky's main, but it's not going to be successful. They're a Scourge patrolling, and they're easily going to be able to deal with the shuttle. Oh, the shuttle somehow manages to escape temporarily, but he's going to have seen the shimmer of the DTs, and that's going to be very, very easily dealt with.
Yeah, and I think, he does have Overlord speed now, so DT is going to get 1 drone, but that's about it. He's going to try and take down Spire, but no way they're going to get that in time. Yeah.
Maybe they will. They might get the Spire. Let's say they will.
God.
DTs are really good, sir.
Are you kidding
That's
me?
actually amazing. The DT managed to take down the Spire. I mean, it's not an absolute game ender at this point, but you know, every little counts. But Sziky decides to make a few more Mutalisks up in the meantime, just to make sure that his Mutalisk count is absolutely pumped to the max whilst his Spire is out of action. And with his fourth base up and running now as well, he shouldn't have any trouble.
Dude, that's a lot of gateways. That's 9 gateways again. Except it's 11 because he's got 2 in his natural.
Does he have obs though?
11 gateway, Robo, Stargate. Dude, you can't really afford that on 2 bases, man. Okay, he's gonna get a 3rd right now. But as you said, Siki's already on his 4th. Man, he should drop 2 more DTs and snipe the 4th base. If he does that, then he'll probably just be ahead. But oh no, the Mute is in the main. He's only got 1 cannon there. I think, where are the Sairs? Okay, he's still got 4 Sairs. They do have +1 against +1 Carapace Mutas. Still gotta be a little bit careful with only 4 there. The Mutas, if you do a good spread, can be quite effective, but he's going to safely get the 3rd base. There's like 4 lurkers sort of containing him, but not really, so I think Dewalt's okay right now, but I'd still favor Sziky in this position.
He's alright, it looks like he's going to go in for another harass, but there's still Scourge waiting. He's loaded 2 Zealots and a High Templar into there. I'm not sure that this is going to last for very long. The shuttle might live long enough to do some damage. There's a huge chase on all those Mutalisks. He might be able to storm the Mutalist though. I think he would be better off storming the Mutalist stack right there, actually, to be completely honest with you, rather than getting 4 drones. I think that would have been far more effective. I'm not quite sure what happened to the High Templar. I guess it bit the dust pretty quickly into that flock of Mutalisks. But Dewalt, yeah, not in the worst position, but that really wasn't a great harass for a pretty high cost.
Yeah, I mean, I think because Sziky was controlling it there, he probably would have just dodged the storm anyway, so...
Yeah,
I mean, 4 drones isn't great, but, you know, what are you going to do? But is that cannon mannering his gas to the 3rd, though? That doesn't seem ideal. And also, there's a lurker there that's dangerously close to attacking those probes, and not quite at the right angle.
Close
yeah,
shave.
It's not really at the right angle, so it's not actually going to kill any, but...
yeah, that's it.
Whack a bit.
Yeah. We have 3 Corsairs now at that 3rd base, which isn't really enough to deal with these Mutalisks. I mean, that's a lot of +1 Carapace Mutalisks. So he definitely can't afford to engage. It looks like he's going to try it. And actually, the Dragoon backup does count for something, fortunately. So not too bad there, managing to grab a couple of Mutalisks for himself. And a Zealot positioned at the 6 o'clock as well. He's going to know if Sziky decides to go down a 5th. Go on.
I think Siki's going to make Guardians there. He's being very careful with the Mutas. He's definitely going to make some Guardians there. Yeah. Wait, actually his Spire died. Did he make another one somewhere? Oh, he didn't make another one. Okay, never mind. I guess he's not. I could have because that's such a good place to attack with Guardians as well. And there's only 3 Corsairs left, so you just scourge those and you make some Guardians. That'd be crazy good. Oh man, what are you doing? Storm it! Oh! What? I thought he was going to storm the Lurkers for sure. I think he tried to like do a preemptive storm on the Mutas, but he didn't actually go far enough in, so he ended up just killing 1 Muta as well as himself and 2 goons.
Yeah, that was a little bit unfortunate right there, and it looks like we're going in for the Reaver snipe. The Reavers are both going to go down. One of them's going to go down, and the second one's going to go down as well. I don't think he can micro it because he was blocking it with his own Corsair, so he couldn't get the shuttle in to pick up the Reavers. Very, very unfortunate micro right there for Dewalt. He should have done a lot better than that. And once again, he's looking incredibly goon heavy, and without those Reavers, he has no area of effect attacks whatsoever. So he's going to be ineffective against what is basically a huge Zerg mass. But this is still going to be a fairly strong push nonetheless. The Zealots running through, tanking the damage, doing a fairly good job of it as well. Those Dragoons are going to be able to start pushing forward and taking down a fair number of the Lurkers. The Lurkers look like they are all going to fight the dust. The Hydrus is going to go into the 3rd base, however, and they might be able to do some damage, although there probably isn't enough numbers. But the Lurkers are going to be backing them up as well. There are 4 photon cannons. Photon cannons aren't going to be enough by themselves, but the Dragoons are coming in as backup and might just be able to hold this. Sziky, though, is convincing with some serious numbers of units. Look at that fresh card of units coming in from Sziky. Dewalt's going to have to try and swing around and take care of this, but he really is dealing with Lings with only Dragoons, and this is not a great army composition for Dewalt at all, but it looks like he might just be able to hold. Sziky still pulling more units in, and this is a serious army attempt from Sziky. He's just going to try.
Where are the High Templar? Dewalt, why you know High Templar? Make storms, make High Templars.
Oh my god, look at those units. That is so many units coming out from Sziky right now. He is just pumping Zerglings and Hydras at a really alarming rate. There's another Reaver in the natural. The natural probably not going to get broken at this point, but Sziky is just macroing like crazy right now. He sees that he has the opportunity to really jump on this game, and it looks like Dewalt's going to be able to hold off for now, but Sziky has the momentum on his side. Dewalt's army is in complete tatters, and Sziky is still way ahead on supply.
Yeah, Sziky actually double expanding now, taking the 9 o'clock base as well as the top left natural, and just keeping on the pressure. As you said, there's no high Templar here, so these Dragoons are going to be mincemeat pretty soon. There's no more cannons left to help defend either. A bunch of Lurkers just morphing directly on the ramp. They're actually going to block reinforcements from the third. Dewalt cannot actually reinforce the third. He's only got 4 Dragoons there. The third is in huge trouble, and this is his only mining base right now. His main is basically mined out. His natural is completely mined out, and Dewalt is in huge trouble in this game. Oh man, how can he? He can't break up the ramp. The eggs are still blocking. They are still blocking. He's losing all of the probes. Oh, Dewalt.
Dewalt, I think, is done. He's trying to get back up there, but he doesn't even have an observer. He can't even deal with those lurkers which are on the ramp. This is getting seriously horrible. I think it's GG. Sziky streaming more units into the natural now with pretty much double the supply of Dewalt. And one lurker going down the reaver, wandering ineffectually out with no scarabs, and just gets completely munched by a bunch of lurkers.
GG!
And Sziky goes through. Dewalt goes out. The Protoss hope of TLS is dashed, ladies and gentlemen.
Dashed indeed. Oh, it's very sad, very sad. But, I mean, he took a game, put on a good show, so, you know, well played Dewalt, but that does mean Sziky will be moving on to play against Eonzerg in our second semifinal. And spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear who won yesterday's games, mute yourself or mute me for 30 seconds. Okay, so yes, our first semifinal, that means, is going to be Skyline versus Michael, and then we're going to have Eonzerg versus Sziky from today. So those are our 2 semifinals. I assume Wikipedia and everything will be updated. We'll have a nice little news post out as well. So congrats to all those players. And man, that last game.
Yeah.
Corsair Reaver, I was so excited. I called it right, and yet
but it just didn't happen. The only thing the Reaver was able to do was deal damage to the bottom left-hand corner hatchery. And even then, he managed to kill the hatchery, the Reaver. It was just a bit of a fiasco from start to finish. Unfortunately, Dewalt never looked like he quite had a proper grasp on the game.
Indeed, indeed. And oh, I have a nice, cool little graphic now for the semi-final. Let me just add this in.
Oh,
so you can see our players from the round of 8. And oh, we're going to have a spoiler here. Another spoiler for anyone unmuted. For anyone who... You know what? If you haven't watched yesterday's games, just like, I guess, tune out now. Thank you for watching. And for everyone else who doesn't, or rather who knows the results, then here they are! Way! Oh, look at that. We even got all of their awesome pictures. Sweet.
We love graphics, don't we? We just love nice graphics.
Indeed, as I said, Michael versus Skyline and Eonzerg versus Sziky. Skyline, our one hope to stand against the swarm.
Yeah, I mean, Skyline represents the hopes of non-Zergs everywhere, and let's pray that he's up to the challenge, and let's pray that he's practicing hard for this one. Skyline, I see he's in the chat. Skyline, don't let us down, please. Please make yourself ready for this, and make yourself a Zerg killing machine by the time the next lot rolls around.
Wait, I just realized, I think 3 of these players are all on SAS. Skyline, Michael, and Sziky are on the same team, so they might even just practice with each other to kill each other. Hey!
Hey! Cool.
Also, a funny note is that there also are 3 of our invites. So Eonzerg is the only qualifier player who has made it to the semifinals.
Yeah, that's
invites OP.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the whole point, isn't it? Unfortunately, Sziky looks much scarier than I thought he looked.
Yeah, well, it looks like he's you know, regained his form or whatever. I don't know what happened to him in the round of 16, but he's definitely back in action here.
Yeah. Well, that's true, but I meant in his picture.
Oh.
You're right, but yeah, he looks terrible.
Wow.
Real life as well.
Well done, well done.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, this is scary stuff for anybody else. But Skyline, please, I hope you're up to the challenge.
Yep, and these games are going to be casted next Saturday, 1 week from one week from yesterday, I guess.
Yep.
Wow, it's Sunday, huh?
Don't even have to wait a week, guys.
Yeah.
How good are we?
It's going to be 21 CET as always. And it's going to be very exciting. And before we sign off, I want to give one more shout out to our sponsors, Razer and Twitch TV. They are super duper awesome. You guys should go buy a bunch of Razer stuff and watch more streams on Twitch, which I'm sure you do anyway. And huge thanks to Team Liquid as well. And thanks to the viewers.
Big thanks to all those guys, and thanks to you as well, you the viewers, for showing up. You make this what it is at the end of the day. So greatly appreciate your viewership, and I hope we see you back next week for more exciting games. It's going to be more edge of your seat stuff with more great play from these guys.
Indeed it is. So with that, we are done for tonight. I hope to see you all next weekend. Peace out.
See you next week.